Welcome back to Beyond All Reason. It is Jaws Munch, and today we're going to be checking out how to win against the cheater AI. We just recently got new shirts, so check those out. I'll probably leave a link here tagging a product, and be sure to enjoy, and it's a great way to support the channel along with also getting a little bit of cool merch as well. So today we're going to be taking a look at an AI game. I've been getting a lot of questions on YouTube about how to play against AI, and I decided to do even a stream about it. I'll probably also put a link here as well for a stream if you guys want to check out that AI challenge video as well. But today we're just going to be talking about the way to win against AI, because I know they do sometimes appear to be cheating. That's a lot of things that people kind of say on Reddit or the Discord. You know, they're like, the AI is so good, or they're cheating and they know exactly where to strike, and it's very hard to keep track of them. And that's all true. AI hard barbarians can be quite tough, and they are very pesky. So you want to play it kind of similarly to how you would play a 1v1 against a real human, honestly. Maybe a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side. So one thing that AI is not as good at in bar is the actual eco scaling. So if you're able to branch out relatively well and carefully, you should be able to grow your economy beyond the point that they can keep up with you. This is especially going to be something you can do on smaller maps. Now you can see this map is relatively small. We have, it's nothing like a Glitters map or, I don't know, a Rosetta. Those are going to be exceptionally more difficult to win against AI because they can use the APM to outmaneuver you dramatically, and they'll be able to keep track of all of your weak points, and they'll take every advantage of them. But on smaller maps like this, it is going to be much easier to hold your own. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty a little bit of what I'm opening with. Here, I'm going for a very heavy expansion, but also a decent amount of early defense. So I'm doing 4 pawns to 1 construction bot on repeat. And this repeat will get a good cycle of constructors out so I can expand rapidly. The pawns are there to defend that constructor's expansion. So you can see here, this constructor is going for a metal extractor on a high value mix, a LLT because we know they're going to try to snipe it. And we also have the pawns here to help defend our constructor. Then we're also going to come over here and get this next one up with a radar tower and another LLT. LLTs are very important when playing against AI to cover your expansions as much as possible. Now, like I said, we have 4 pawns to 1 constructor coming out. So our next constructor is going into, once again, LLT to defend the metal extractor. And then my main objective is to cover these openings here. This is an area where they could do a run by, so I'm covering these openings with LLTs as well as I expand. I'm hoping to get away with these mexes without having to build an LLT here, but if you feel like you're getting a lot more pressure, it might be a good idea to place an LLT per metal extractor set. Try to avoid that because the least amount of LLTs you can place to cover the most ground will be the most effective. So try to abuse those choke off points if you get the chance. Anyway, we've already had a little bit of attacks here, a couple aggressing grunts trying to take out our constructor, but none of our units really took that much damage, thankfully. And let's go ahead and switch to our point of view. Right now, we don't really know where anything's at, and we are continuing to expand. I'm trying to get a couple pawns to cover key entrance points. These will be significant areas that I should be covering. Just have vision there to be able to see if the AI is making a move or not. And like I said, we have lots of constructors going out, and I'm trying to keep them as busy as possible. This guy's going into a construction turret, and mainly what I'm doing is as soon as they come up, I need to have a job for them, especially early on. That's important. We are a little bit metal stalled and have plenty of energy at our disposal, which is great. So it's a great position to be in when you're just slightly metal stalled in the early game. That means you're using your resources well, and you're also, you know, you're just in a pretty good spot with the extra energy as well. So it's bad if you're stalled on both, because that means you're maybe didn't scale your energy quite to match your metal production. But things are going well. We did start the geo. We probably didn't have quite enough energy built up to actually be able to afford this geo, but it's a work in progress. So, and it was honestly a little bit of a mistake, but you know, none of us play perfect, right? They like we all know, the pesky AI comes and snipes what you're doing because they know you're building, and so they come after you. But yeah, keeping these pawns here to defend, to make sure we get our expansion. And they're gonna, you know, they're sending units in a lot of different directions all at once, because they have, I think I heard on Reddit, or saw on Reddit, that AI has around 1,000 actions per minute. I think we might even be able to check here. Actions per minute, it's only using 100 actions per minute, while I'm over here at a lousy 26. So you do struggle to keep up with their APM, that is for sure. Every little unit gets its own micro capabilities, but that's why it's important, once again, to cover your entrances. So you can see we have this entrance covered, this entrance covered. These guys sniped a grunt out as well. This guy has stopped the grunts from pushing in, both of those guys. And this is kind of our weak point, and that's because they're pushing most of their force this direction. But if you look at the economy right now, look up top here, I'm at 22 metal extraction per second. They are at 11, so I'm already double their metal extraction because I have put really heavy grounded expansion. They can't snipe it. They're pumping out units, but my metal extraction is far superior to theirs at the moment. So that means as long as the game progresses in a similar fashion, they don't get any extra advantages sniping any of my metal extractors, I will be able to maintain a significant advantage over them. See, their metal extraction is not really... I mean, how many metal extractors do they have right now? Like, let me see. Total of 6. They have a total of 6 metal extractors. For me, I'm at a total of 11. So that's a significant difference right there. And that's a huge opportunity you want to try to take advantage of, because honestly, AI does struggle with expanding in this game. So we have a couple of these energy storage coming up, which is great. We're getting closer to finishing our geo. It's down to 50. And here pretty soon, I'm going to be swapping over to a new type of unit composition. This is what I would consider an expansion unit composition, but I'm starting to get too many constructors now, and I'm going to switch over to a aggressive unit composition, which is going to be Centurions, largely because the Centurion is really good at dealing with spam, and it fares pretty well against the Thug as well. So that's going to be what I'm choosing to punch through the lines and make sure that this spam that they send, all of these grunts that they're pushing on us, we can easily take them down without too much difficulty. So the Centurions, I think, are a great answer to the compositions that AI generally will push at you. And here we're just getting some of this reclaim field, as much of the metal that we can from AI. If we can soak it up and use it, let's do it, you know? Might as well. They will try to put more pressure on our res bots if they get vision of them, so we need to be cautious of that, but overall things are still looking pretty good. We have our geothermal plant done, and after that we're going to go into energy converters, because as much metal as you can, converting all of your energy into metal, if you have the opportunity and you're not metal stalled, or energy stalled I mean, then you want to try to take advantage of that if possible. So I probably go a little overkill here because we got energy storage and we're using so much energy even now just from our expansion, laser fire, and building these centurions as they're just starting to come out. So we're not really overflowing energy, and it was probably a bad call to even start building these, but a default, usually when I get a geothermal up, I'm overflowing energy, so I figured I'd give them a shot. Anyway, expansion's still great. We got LLTs popping up on our front lines, on our major areas that we want to take control of, and basically all of our constructors are working on something, trying to keep them all busy. We have one constructor over here building an LLT, although he's probably going to get sniped. Oh, he survives barely. And then we got this guy working on a couple metal extractors and another LLT. So we have great control, great map control, trying to keep our units spread out as much as possible. And this is where you don't want to do too many control group movements unless you have your bulk army that you're moving. So early on especially, it's important to try to keep your units spread and avoid, selecting all of your pawns and moving them all in one area, because that it's tempting, because you're like, yeah, then I can take over that area and control it well. But at the same time, that means you're taking all of your forces away from one area and placing them all into another. So even here, I do a group control move because I have the Centurions out now. So I'm moving all my pawns, but even then I grab some of them out and bring them this way, because look at that guy. He snuck through as soon as I made that command. He was already on it. So we're going to take him out with these pawns here. And now we have kind of two forces split in half. We have our Centurions over here and our pawns over here, or vice versa, But trying to keep the AI easily managed by having things sectioned off in a way that we as humans, as mere humans, will be able to have the highest impact with our units, right? So Centurions, those are the guys I want to do the aggression, I want to push in, and this is where we're going to start getting our resbots going crazy. Centurions mixed with resbots are extremely powerful because Centurions don't overkill almost anything. They don't overkill pawns, I think they do overkill metal extractors, but they don't overkill LLTs. You can resurrect almost every single unit that you kill with a Centurion. So combining them with resbots is extremely powerful. They also are one of the highest health bots in T1. So being able to abuse that health with the amount that they also can be healed is extremely powerful as well. So we're just trying to keep control. Unfortunately, they wiped all of our resbots here that were resurrecting our Centurions that were fallen. And so we have to rebuild up a decent amount of Lazarus. So let's look at this combo really quick. We have 3 Centurions, 4 pawns, 1 Lazarus. The Lazarus bots are good to have, but you don't want too many of them, as they don't really have the actual fighting power. You want to have an actual good frontline army, and they're more there to pick up the scraps. You can either resurrect or reclaim. If you're struggling with energy, you need to have them reclaim instead of resurrect, because resurrection is a very energy intensive. So keep that in mind when using resbots. If you are low on energy, don't try to resurrect a bunch of units. Just reclaim the wreckage and then invest all of that metal into energy production so that you can afford to resurrect. All right, we do a big raid here on the base. We see the commander here, and we get a lot of economy damage, doing plenty of damage to those solar panels and light laser turrets and all of their defenses they have here. He gets off a couple good D-guns, but you can see he's faltering. We just have scaled him to the point where it's basically game over for the AI at this point. And these Centurions do have plenty of health, so they're perfect for holding the line and being able to inflict the damage they need to. And this is the point where I'm starting to really use my control groups more, because we have this area so well under control. We can now use our pawns to do raids across his economy. We're going to be wiping out every metal extractor possible with our group of pawns here. So we do good damage there. wipe out all the metal extractors, and we are off to the next group with more pawns on the way, while also simultaneously attacking his economy, wiping out those build turrets so that he has a whole lot less build power at his base, and we are rezzing everything that has fallen. So we are just multiplying our army while inflicting damage. Extremely powerful. All of our pawns rushing in to inflict maximum damage on his economy, his expansions falling rapidly. So AI is essentially done here on out. Still has just a couple turrets left. I think that's maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, 3, 4 turrets left. And he's going to be wiped. Especially since we're circling around with the pawns. It's essentially game over. So at this point, I just start targeting the commander. Just having my units solely target the commander. And that is where we end the game right there. So I hope that this helps you and answers some of your questions about AI and how to fight against it, and give some of these tips a shot on the battlefield. Let me know if this gives you the edge that you need to beat your first hard AI barbarian. And if you enjoy videos like this and want to learn more about Beyond All Reason, definitely subscribe. And if you also liked the video, be sure to like the video. We will see you guys on the next one and on the battlefield.